To read or not to read?
Hey YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. This video, as you can probably tell, will be about the author Brandon Sanderson. It's easy to see that he is a great author after you just read one of his books. That's not to say that I liked all of his books, but the ones that I did like, they were excellent. He has so many books that I can't talk about them all in this one video, so I'm going to break this author up into multiple videos and talk about what I consider to be his best books. I'll release these videos in the order that I think you should read his books, and even if you don't like one of his series, I recommend that you continue to try other ones from him, because he has a wide variety of content out there. So the first book that I think you should read by him is called Legion. Legion is a trilogy, but I have not yet finished the last book. It was only released early this year. Legion's a great book and is very unique. The main character, his name is Stephen Leeds. He's a highly intelligent person, but he has multiple personalities or multiple personas in his head. Each persona is very unique and has very unique skills and are able to help him in different aspects of his life. So instead of a hallucination or a persona distracting most people with a disorder like that, and being very destructive, in his life it actually helps him a lot and benefits him and makes for somewhat of an interesting life. I'd like to play a short audio clip of this book so you can get a feel and an idea of how this book is. This audio clip only has two real people speaking, and it's Stephen and a new client. The other voices that you'll hear are actually his persona's voices, and they're actually playing in his head.
They're wrong. They? The people who call me a genius, I said, sitting down in the chair next to Tobias's. I'm not a genius. I'm really quite average. I find that hard to believe. Believe what you will, I said, but I'm not a genius. My hallucinations are. Thanks, JC said. Some of my hallucinations are, I corrected. You accept that the things you see aren't real? Monica said, turning to me. Yes. Yet you talk to them. I wouldn't want to hurt their feelings. Besides, they can be useful. Thanks, JC said. Some of them can be useful, I corrected. Anyway, they're the reason you're here. You want their minds. Now tell me your story, Monica, or stop wasting my time. She smiled, finally walking over to sit down. It's not what you think. There's no time machine. Oh? You don't sound surprised? Time travel into the past is highly, highly implausible, I said. Even if it were to have occurred, I'd not know of it, as it would have created a branching path of reality of which I am not a part. Unless this is the branched reality. In which case, I said, time travel into the past is still functionally irrelevant to me, as someone who traveled back would create a branching path of which, again, I would not be part. That's one theory at least, she said, but it's meaningless. As I said, there is no time machine, not in the conventional sense. So these pictures are fakes? I asked. You're starting to bore me very quickly, Monica. She slid 3 more pictures onto the table. Shakespeare, Tobias said as I held them up one at a time. The Colossus of Rhodes. Oh, now that's clever. Elvis? I asked. Apparently the moment before death, Tobias said, pointing to the picture of the waning pop icon sitting in his bathroom, head drooping. JC sniffed. As if there isn't anyone around who looks like that guy. These are from a camera, Monica said, leaning forward, that takes pictures of the past. She paused for dramatic effect. JC yawned. The problem with each of these, I said, tossing the pictures onto the table, is that they are fundamentally unverifiable. They are pictures of things that have no other visual record to prove them, so therefore small inaccuracies would be impossible to use in debunking. I have seen the device work, Monica replied. It was proven in a rigorous testing environment. We stood in a clean room we had prepared, took cards and drew on the backs of them, and held them up. Then we burned the cards. The inventor of this device entered the room and took photos. Those pictures accurately displayed us standing there, with the cards and the patterns reproduced. Wonderful, I said. Now if I only had any reason at all to trust your word. You can test the device yourself, she said. Use it to answer any question from history you wish. We could, Ivy said, if it hadn't been stolen. I could do that, I repeated, trusting what Ivy said. She had good instincts for interrogation, and sometimes fed me lines. Except the device has been stolen, hasn't it? Monica leaned back in her chair, frowning. It wasn't difficult to guess, Steve, Ivy said. She wouldn't be here if everything were working properly, and she'd have brought the camera to show it off if she really wanted to prove it to us. I could believe it's in a lab somewhere, too valuable to bring. Only in that case, she'd have invited us to her center of strength instead of coming to ours. She's desperate, despite her calm exterior. See how she keeps tapping the armrest of her chair? Also, notice how she tried to remain standing in the first part of the conversation, looming as if to prop up her authority. She only sat down when she felt awkward with you seeming so relaxed. Tobias nodded. Never do anything standing that you can do sitting, or anything sitting that you can do lying down. A Chinese proverb, usually attributed to Confucius. Of course, no primary texts from Confucius remain in existence, so nearly everything we attribute to him is guesswork, to some extent or another. Ironically, one of the only things we are sure he taught is the Golden Rule, and his quote regarding it is often misattributed to Jesus of Nazareth, who worded the same concept a different way. I let him speak, the ebbs and flows of his calm voice washing across me like waves. What he was saying wasn't important. Yes, Monica finally said. The device was stolen.
Thanks for sticking around to the end. Comment down below if you have any questions, or if you've read this book, or you now plan to. Please like and subscribe to help me grow this channel, and I'm out.